Hi guys, it's Jodie and welcome to a new video. So today I have another book haul for you guys. So a lot of the books in this video are pre-orders, books that I picked up from the charity store, books I was very kindly gifted or sent by publishers, and then just a couple that I did treat myself to when I've been out and about. So it's not as big as my previous book haul, but I did want to share some of these books with you because they are all very pretty books, and I just thought, why not film another haul, because I know you guys really like them. So if you don't like hauls, feel free to click off of this video, but for those of you who do, I hope you find some fun and interesting books to add to your TBR. And yeah, let's just get straight into the video. So we'll go through this pile here. So we have some manga and then just two that I did treat myself to, so they're kind of random, and then we will get into all of my pre-orders and gifted books. So let's do the manga first. So the first one I have was a pre-order, and that is volume 4 of Cheeky Brat. I still need to read volume 3, but Cheeky Brat is a really cute romance manga. It's kind of like a rom-com. We have a girl in school who's managing a basketball team, and one of the players on the basketball team, and she could not be less interested in him, but he's very interested in her and he's been pursuing her, and they are starting to like each other and form a romance. It's really fun, and it is very like cheeky. I just really love this manga, and yeah, the 4th volume finally came out, so I did pick this up from my pre-order at work, and I'm very excited to read this. Then next we have 3 manga here. So I can never pronounce this. I don't know if it's Horimya, I think maybe is what it's called. This is a manga series I've heard about for a while. When I very first wanted to read some romance manga, I can't remember the term for it. I know it begins with S, but when I was looking, this kept popping up. Now I don't know if it's definitely like a fully romantic kind of story or not. I think it is, but when I tried to get this a couple of years ago, you could not get volume 1 anywhere, and you still can't for the most part. It's literally impossible, and it's so expensive on eBay to get this. Like, I was astounded. But when I recently went to York, I went to the Traveling Man, which is like a comic book slash manga slash gaming store, and I've ordered from them online before but never gone to a store in person. And as soon as I saw these, I had to get them. I was so surprised they had them. So I bought the first 3 volumes, and I'm so excited. On the back here it says it's a sweet awe-inspiring tale of school life. So yeah, I don't know tons about it, but I just really want to read it because I've had so many good things and had it recommended to me so many times. So I'm hoping that the rest of the volumes are easily accessible if I do love these 3. But yeah, very excited to read these. Let me know down below if you've read them and what you thought of them, because yeah, I'm excited. Okay, so now we have these 2 books. So the first one is A Magic Steeped in Poison, and I bought this because this is a signed edition. This is the Waterstones exclusive one with the purple spray edges, and yeah, like I said, I picked it up because it was signed. I still really want to buy this in hardcover. All I know is that this is a Chinese mythology inspired story, and it involves tea making, and I have heard bits about tea making when it comes to like Chinese culture, and I've always been very interested in that. And the fact that this is a fantasy woven with that kind of historical element to it and cultural aspect, and it also has the Chinese mythology as well, I'm just instantly intrigued by that, and I cannot wait to read this. I've heard this is a very good. It did come out quite a while ago in the US, but it's only just been published in the UK. And yeah, I'm very excited to read this. The cover is absolutely beautiful, and I know this has like a really gorgeous magic system. It has the tea making like rooted traditions in there, fantasy. I think that the main character is trying to save like a relative or something. It just sounds incredible. I'm so excited to read this, and I just think this is a beautiful cover as well. Then next we have Charlotte Bronte by Jane Eyre. So I picked this up because I've heard that this is one of the best classics that there is. I'm currently reading The Picture of Dorian Gray, and I am not a classics person generally, but I do want to delve more into them, and I've heard that this one is a beautiful story to read, and I just really wanted to pick it up. So yeah, I decided to get it. I don't know exactly when I'll read this. I do kind of want to read it in like the autumn winter. I don't know why. I just feel like the vibe is there, but I don't know for sure if I will. Maybe when I finish The Picture of Dorian Gray, this will be the next classic that I trudge through, but I don't know yet. But I did decide to get this one, and yeah, hopefully I do get to it very soon. Moving on to all of my pre-orders, and then we have one from a Fairy box. So the first book I have is Unravelled by Frances Hardinge. This is the Waterstones signed exclusive edition. Look how gorgeous this book is. So it is signed by the author, and then the exclusive part is the spine, which has this gorgeous design, and it has the sprayed edges. So I don't know a lot about this. The only reason I bought it is because I saw that it involves like curses and stuff, and it sounds very like whimsical, and I just really like those kinds of stories. So I do own a book by this author that I still haven't read, which is the Library, I think, but this one just sounded really interesting. So I'll read the synopsis. So it says, in a world where anyone can create a life-destroying curse, only one person has the power to unravel them. Kellen does not fully understand his talent, but helps those transformed maliciously, including Nettle. Recovered from entrapment in a bird form, she is now his constant companion and closest ally. But Kellen has also been cursed, and unless he and Nettle can remove his curse, Kellen is in danger of unraveling everything and everyone around him. So yeah, I really like the sound of this. I just think it's going to be a really fun story, and this was such a beautiful book. It really caught my eye, so I decided to pick it up, and I hope that I really enjoy it. So next we have the most recent Junji Ito, which is Liminal Zone. So this has 4 different stories in here, and as usual it's going to be very disturbing, very unsettling, in typical Junji Ito fashion. This is a horror manga, and I'm so excited to read it. I plan to read this very soon. Okay, so next we have the Fairy Loot edition, which is Belladonna by Adeline Grace. I am so excited for this. This is a gothic fantasy. I think the romance is between the main character and Death, which, yes, just immediately yes. I love romances like that. I don't know why, but I do. And the quote on the back, "Your name is no curse, little bird. I just like the taste of it." Like, just wow. Just wow. A stunning piece of literature right there. I am so excited for this book. So basically in here we follow Signa, and people like keep dying around her and stuff, and she's trying to uncover like a murderer, and I think somehow Death ends up helping her or something, but they kind of start to fall for one another. And yeah, that's pretty much all I know. I don't want to know too much about this book. I really just want to go into it not knowing a lot and just enjoy it. It just says at the bottom that it brings a highly romantic gothic infused world of wealth, desire and betrayal. So yeah, very excited to read this. I love anything gothic, especially when there's romance, so I feel like I will love this book. So next we have a pre-order, which is Natalie Haynes's Stoneblind, and this is Medusa's story. This is the signed Waterstones exclusive edition. So we have these gorgeous sprayed edges, and then obviously inside we have a signed book. I don't think there's anything underneath. No, there's nothing under the dust jacket. I don't know a lot about this except that it's inspired by Medusa, and anything inspired by Medusa I'm instantly going to buy. I just find anything to do with the myth of Medusa fascinating, and I just don't think there's enough retellings about Medusa and the truth of the myth. So I'm very excited to see what Natalie Haynes does with it in this book. So yes, I cannot wait to read this and see how Medusa is represented in this story. I feel like I'm gonna absolutely love this. I love anything that is inspired by Greek mythology, and like I said, specifically Medusa. So I've been waiting for a book like this for so long, and I cannot wait to read this. I have such high expectations for this book, and I really hope it doesn't let me down. So next we have a sequel, and this is the Waterstones signed exclusive edition of The Dragon's Promise by Elizabeth Lim. I think I've ordered a Fairy Loot edition of this as well, but I may be wrong, but I think I have. But yeah, this is the Waterstones one. It has these kind of light blue sprayed edges that match the cover, and it is signed as well. So yes, this is a sequel to Six Crimson Cranes. So I'm not going to go into what this is about because it is a continuation of the first book. So yeah, I'm very excited to have this because it's so beautiful. I haven't read Six Crimson Cranes yet. I do plan to read it soon, but I have been waiting for this one to come out because I want to read them together. So I think I'm going to save it for the new year because I have a lot of kind of spooky gothic stories that I want to read in the next few months. So I feel like this one I will probably wait until next year to read with Six Crimson Cranes, but I'm so happy that I did pre-order this one because it matches my Six Crimson Cranes edition, and this is absolutely gorgeous. Like, look how beautiful this book is. These have some of the nicest covers I've ever seen. So next we have another pre-order, which is Lord of Shadows by Cassandra Clare. This is the anniversary edition, which comes like this. And I don't think I actually own Lord of Shadows, or like not in hardcover anyway. So yeah, I did pre-order this. I don't know what it is about Cassandra Clare's books, but I always collect them. I have no idea why. But yeah, I saw this and I thought, why not? So I pre-ordered it, and yeah, it has a rose gold spine. I don't really need to go into what this is about. It's a Shadowhunter novel from the Dark Artifices series. So yeah, I just pre-ordered it because I don't even know. I'm just compelled to when it comes to Cassandra Clare. Okay, so next we have one of my most anticipated releases of the year, which is The Kiss Cast by Erin Sterling. This is kind of like a follow-up almost to The Ex-Hex, which I read last year and absolutely adored. It was such a fun witchy rom-com. If you're looking for a witchy romance, definitely check out these books. So yeah, this is set in like the same world. Again, it's another rom-com. It's gonna have some spice in there. I did get a signed edition, which has this gorgeous bookplate in. And I don't know too much about this. I pre-ordered this on impulse because it is by an author that I like. And obviously because of how much I love The Ex-Hex. And I would still like to go into this not knowing a lot. I think it follows a character from The Ex-Hex, but I could be wrong. All I know is that it's another witchy romance and I want to keep it that way. I'm just so excited to go into this and just like fall back into this world and just be surprised by the characters that appear in here and the romance. I know I'm gonna love this because I love anything that is witchy and has romance, but I love The Ex-Hex so much. So my hopes and expectations are extremely high for this and I just know it's gonna meet them. Like, I know it will. I cannot wait to read this and I'm so excited for another witchy romance. Okay, so speaking of a romance and spooky vibes, we have another highly anticipated release by another author that I really like. So this is by Sally Thorne, who wrote The Hating Game. I loved The Hating Game when I read it. I'm pretty sure I read that book in like a day or something. I read it when I went on holiday last year. There is a reading vlog on my channel somewhere that includes it, but this is her latest release, which is Angelika, Frankenstein Makes Her Match. And basically in here we have Angelika and she creates her like kind of dream guy, Will, and that's where like the Frankenstein part also comes from. It's inspired by Frankenstein and I think she's like related to Victor Frankenstein or something like that. So she uses like the Frankenstein's science to create her Will, who is her love interest, and they have like undeniable chemistry, but he's more interested in finding answers to where he came from and stuff. And yeah, we have a romance. It just sounds so good. It's inspired by Frankenstein. It's written by an author whose romance books I really like, so I'm very excited to read this. I also adore the cover, and this has also been compared to having the same kind of vibes as Bridgerton. So if you're a fan of Bridgerton, then you might like this. It says on the back, Bridgerton meets the Addams Family. So I have to read this. Like, I need to understand where this combination is coming from. So I'm very excited to read this book. Okay, so now we're on to the last stack, which is charity shop, gifted, and publisher books. So yeah, I have a lot of exciting books to go through here. So these two books here, I was very kindly gifted by Vanessa. So thank you so much again, Vanessa, for these wonderful books. So the first one we have is Pet Sematary by Stephen King. I haven't read a lot of Stephen King. I've only read 2 or 3 of his books. I loved Carrie. It's my favorite King book I've read so far. So I wanted to read more of his kind of spooky kind of stories. Pet Sematary seems to be one of them. And yeah, I'm just very intrigued by this. I don't know a lot about it. And I feel like with Stephen King's books, they are kind of like bizarre to a point. And I feel like going into them that way can be fun. So with Carrie, I did know the basics about it, but I didn't know a lot, and I really enjoyed it. So I'm wondering if I will have the same experience with this, because I think there's a movie for this, but I've never seen it and I don't know tons about it. So I'm definitely intrigued. So yeah, all I know is that this is going to be very creepy and I'm so excited. I'm planning to read this in October, and yeah, I hope that I enjoy this, because I've read Carrie, which I loved. I've read The Dark Tower. Not for me. At the time, I gave it a high rating, but now, definitely not. That was not for me. So I'm hoping this one will be. And yeah, thank you so much to Vanessa for getting this for me. And then Vanessa also very kindly gifted me The Haunting of Ashburton House by Darcy Coates. So this is a haunted house book. It's a horror. I'm very excited. So in here we follow Adrian, I think is how you pronounce the name, and they're in desperate need of somewhere to stay, and they inherit this house and they think it's like the best thing in the world because they were so desperate for somewhere to live, not knowing that this house is going to probably ruin their life. So yes, it says strange messages are etched into the walls. Furniture moves when she leaves the room, and a grave hidden in the depths of the forest hints at a terrible, unforgivable secret. Something twisted lives in her house, its hungry eyes ever watchful, chasing the threads of a decades-old mystery. It isn't long before she realizes she's become prey to something deeply unnatural and intensely resentful. She has no idea how to escape. She has no idea how to survive. Only one thing is certain: Ashburn's dead are not at rest. So yes, this sounds so good. So excited to read this. Definitely gonna read this in October, and I can't wait. I love a good haunted house, and this sounds so fun. So thanks again, Vanessa, for gifting me this book. Then next I have Daughter of the Pirate King by Trisha Levenseller. I was very, very kindly gifted this by the publisher. I have read, I can't remember what the book's called, but it's in my head. So I've read The Shadows Between Us by this author, but never anything else by them, and everyone loves this. This is the new reprinted covers that are coming out soon, so I'm very, very excited to read this. I know this has pirates in it and like kind of like forbidden romance, or like enemies to lovers. That's pretty much all I know, and yeah, everyone seems to love this. It blew up on Book Talk as well. I'm very, very excited to read this because I love To Kill a Kingdom by, I can't remember the author, but apparently it's got like similar vibes to that. So I'm very, very excited to read this. And yeah, also knows it's like YA fantasy romance, and I can't remember if it's enemies to lovers or forbidden romance. It's one of the two, but yeah, can't wait to read this. Had so many good things. Then next we have this one, which I believe is a middle grade, and this is called The Little Match Girl Strikes Back. This came out in September. This is by Emma Carroll and Lauren Child, and it says here it's a defiant and empowering retelling of the Hans Christian Andersen classic from powerhouse partnership Emma Carroll and Lauren Child. Discover the little match girl as you have never seen her before, a bold new heroine for future generations to treasure, brought to life in glorious spot color. So yeah, very, very excited for this, and I do really like the illustrations. I just love this art style. Look how cool this proof is as well. It looks like this. So yeah, this is a middle grade and is a retelling of the classic Hans Andersen, and it does have illustrations throughout. I think the finished copy will have colour in it, but yeah, I'm very excited to read this. It just sounds really, really interesting, and I love the illustrations in here. So yeah, thanks once again to the publisher for sending me a copy of this book. Then next we have one of the most anticipated releases of the year. I was so excited when I received the PR package for this, so thank you so much to Live at Chicken House for sending me this. I just cannot wait to read it. This is pitched as Heartstopper meets Gilmore Girls, where it has mystery in it, it has a friendship, it has spooky autumnal vibes, it has everything. I'm so excited. And that is The Other Ones by Fran Hart. I cannot wait to read this. This cover, for one, is just amazing. So yeah, we have a haunted house, we have a romance, we have a mystery, we have a group of friends trying to solve it. It just sounds amazing. I'm very, very excited for this. I'm pretty sure it comes out in October, and don't hold me to it, but I think Waterstones are doing an exclusive edition, so make sure you can pre-order it. But yeah, Heartstopper meets Gilmore Girls. Yes, please. So next we have Monsters Born and Made by Tanvi Boa, and I was very kindly sent a proof of this. This comes out in September as well, so I think it is already out by the time I'm filming this video. And on the back it says this is an epic South Asian inspired fantasy debut. Coral grew up battling the monsters that live in the surrounding seas, but it didn't prepare to face the cunning cruelty of the ruling elite. So yeah, this sounds amazing. On this little note, it says here that it's perfect for fans of the Hunger Games and Fable, and it says it's a gripping debut about the power of the elite, price of glory, and one girl's chance to change it all. So yeah, it sounds absolutely amazing. I'm very, very excited. I love a character-driven novel, and I'm obsessed with this cover as well. This is such a cool cover. So yeah, this is already out and I can't wait to read it. So thanks once again to the publisher for sending me an art. Then now we are on to the last bundle of books, which is my charity shop haul. So I picked up The Vegetarian by Han Kang, and I've been wanting to read this for a while after I read The White Book by Han Kang. I really, really enjoyed that book. It was just unlike anything I'd read before. I believe this one is a dark one, and it is described as being a modern classic. It says on the back it's about rebellion, eroticism, and the female body. One of the most extraordinary books you will ever read. So yeah, it's a haunting masterpiece with the power to change its reader's view of the world. It says it's a thrilling psychological drama about taboo, desire, rebellion, and fantasy. So yeah, I'm very, very excited to read this. I've heard a lot of good things about this, and I'm just really interested in reading this one after reading the White Book, which it was just really good. So next we have Luster by Raven Lilani, I think is how you pronounce the name. And I think I was going to buy this a while ago after hearing someone talk about it on BookTube, and then I didn't. But when I saw it in a charity shop, it was like £2, I think. I thought, why not pick it up? So it says here that it's a razor sharp, provocatively page-turning and surprisingly tender. Luster is a painfully funny debut novel about what it means to be young today. So this is a literary fiction piece, and I do want to try and read more of those. I can't remember who it was who mentioned this book, but I remember wanting to read it. So when I saw it in a charity shop, I decided to pick it up. And yeah, I just feel like I need to read more books like this, so I did decide to pick this one up. Then next we have this one, which was £2, and this is Tales of Suspense by Edgar Allan Poe. So this is a Reader's Digest copy. I just thought it was really cool, and it came with like a cool little thing inside as well. So yeah, this just has like lots of different Edgar Allan Poe tales in it with like illustrations throughout. So yeah, I really need to read some Edgar Allan Poe, so I figured this would be a good book to get because it has like some of his shorter works in here. And then lastly we have Bram Stoker's Dracula. I have no idea which edition this is, but it appears that it is an American edition because it's in dollars on the back. So yeah, this is a gorgeous edition of Dracula. I was so happy when I saw this. So it is like a leather bound one. It has red sprayed edges, and I don't actually own this edition, and I do like to collect copies of Dracula and Frankenstein. So this is by Intervisual Book Classics, it says at the bottom here. So I'm assuming they are the publisher, maybe. Yeah, they seem to be the publisher, so this is the edition here. But yeah, I just thought this was like really nice. I love the sprayed edges, and like I said, I like to collect copies of Dracula, and I didn't own this one, so it was only £2, so I couldn't leave this behind, and I'm very happy that I decided to get it. So yes, that is it for my mini book haul. I hope you guys did enjoy this and maybe found some new and interesting reads to add to your TBR. Let me know in the comments if you have read any of the books I have mentioned, or let me know any books you've recently hauled that you're really excited about. If you did make it to the end of this video, leave a book emoji in the comments, and don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. But I hope you guys did enjoy it. I will leave all of the books listed below in the description box, along with the links to my social media and my Patreon, where you can find extra content from me. I do a monthly buddy read there, a monthly readathon. I sometimes do live shows. We have a Discord where we chat. I upload exclusive videos, so there's some clothing hauls and homeware hauls on there, and reading vlogs. So yes, all of that is over on my Patreon. If you are interested, you can find it linked down below. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you're all safe and well. I hope you're reading lots of good books, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!